Hey, what's going on? Chase, Ever Bullish, the Stock Sherpa on YouTube. The first, the best, currently the only YouTube portfolio manager. This is going to be the new thing. I really think I got something good going here. So jump on board if you're new to all my bulls. What's going on? It's Sunday again, Mother's Day, and I hope that everybody has a good Mother's Day. And also, I hope that this gets to you either before or after, so you can spend some time with your family and you're not just sitting behind your desk trading. Remember, I watch the market and update you and do some research to provide you with more information to to buck the system a bit and make you a better trader. So something happened this week. I can't remember what it was. What happened this weekend that was going to be a big deal and got people motivated to start investing or trading, or at least dip their toe in the pool? I can't remember. Oh yeah, it was Elon, huh? Anybody watch the SNL last night? I checked it out. I thought Elon absolutely crushed it. I thought he did great. He was vulnerable. He was likable. He was well coached. Whoever his writers are. Did a pretty valiant job. And if you know or have read any of my website, I mentioned on there that I like to keep things light, and I think that that is the key to getting through, particularly the pandemic. At least for me, was trying to find some laughter. Found a lot of cool comedians, and just becoming a big fan of comedy. And Elon just absolutely crushed it. But you know what didn't crush it was Dogecoin. I have a take on that. I have a take on the sectors. I have a take on the sectors coming up for next week. We'll do a little bit of review, and I've got a really awesome, excitable trade for me, just because I'm mostly, a big time EV guy, and I love disruptive technology, and I love ride sharing, and I love the idea of being able to, make the world a little bit more efficient and a lot more convenient by having the ability to do all those things. So we're gonna hit the Sunday recap. We are going to talk about some stock trades. Feel free to follow. Remember that everything on this channel is educational in nature, not intended to be taken as investment advice. I am no longer a stock broker or financial planner, and this is not any way indicative of any of the companies that I work for in the past or will work for. Actually, I won't work for a company in the future. So that's that part. All right. I thought Elon Musk killed it. I talk about that. Oh, yeah. Go to everbullish.com if you want to follow along. Screenshot, save, like, share, subscribe to my free newsletter. And this will get you involved. The whole message of this is to share some of my information on how I've built a pretty good trading practice with sector trading, analysis, and all types of different information that I just want to spread out there. So everbullish.com, we're going to click on the hamburger in the right corner. We're going to click on investing articles. Then we're going to click on Elon Musk's face here. So I don't want to say I called it, but I love being a know-it-all. And it was a 50-50 trade. So you can't short Dogecoin, so obviously I didn't. And it's only available on Robinhood, which sucks. And I don't think it's funny when anybody loses money, especially if they're not well educated or sophisticated. But I do know, let's be real, man. First of all, trading. If you're scared, get a dog. Get out of here. If you're trading with money that you can't lose, aren't comfortable losing, go get a job and then use your extra money to pay this. If you are fortunate enough to trade for a living or work out a way to have it a side hustle, I'm not sorry for you. So Dogecoin was down 38% as of writing this. It's about, 9, I think? Yeah, it's 9:18 right now. I wrote this about an hour ago. Dogecoin was down about 38%. It really reminded me, it's like whenever you, like you just pick up the hottest girl and then, after a couple of weeks you realize that we're all just people, right? I mean, it's not great. It's just Dogecoin. Not that it's doesn't have the potential to be great or to be a currency, but, it's not Bitcoin. And it also, just what do we expect? I mean, he could have ridden a Bitcoin covered diamond car into the front of the stage and been picked up with a helicopter and flown off with the big Dogecoin logo underneath it, and that would maybe make us feel like there was some more intrinsic value than the current intrinsic value of Elon Musk. I just don't. I don't get it. So, and look, I'm not Warren Buffett here. I'm not a square on this, but somebody told you the best movie ever, and then they talked about it every day for you know, 6 months you went and saw the movie, it could be Citizen Kane and you're going to be disappointed. So anyway, that's the take on Bitcoin. Elon Musk killed it. Dogecoin's dropping. It's great for Bitcoin. Again, talked about that a lot. What's happening is, you know, these altcoins pick up all this inertia, and people go to their Robinhood or their Coinbase or whatever, their eToro, their digital wallet. They buy these altcoins, and then now their money's in those wallets or on those trading platforms, and then they're like, oh, this sucks, you know, I bought it at 16, still a great return. I'm not going to hate on anybody for that. But when they realize that, you know, Robinhood's not going to be able to execute their trades, I know another guy that called that, and they realize how inefficient it really is, as far as just not even just an investment or even a speculation, but it's really just kind of, it feels like a middle school student council race or something. So they realize that it's not legit, and then they go out and they go, all right, well, I can just convert this back to Bitcoin. Very similar to what people did with gold when, you know, Confederate money and all the different types of state issuance of monies, the different types of bank bonds. You know, they always just went back to gold. Well, you know, I've written articles about it, and I've been saying it for years and screaming it from the mountaintop because that's what the Sherpa does. That it's just completely gold is an antiquated currency. It's almost worth nothing, or store of value, not a currency, whatever. And Bitcoin's taking over because first to market is important. Being the first to market as a YouTube portfolio manager hopefully will pay off, and if not, you're going to learn everything that there is. So let's get to business. Dogecoin is trash. Elon is funny, or at least has the ability to act or take direction. Sector performance last week, here we are. We're down in getting the nitty gritty. Energy was up over the last 5 days. It was up 8.89%. The triple on that, the double on that, which I own and recommend, is ERX. If you followed that, you're welcome. I mentioned trying to get out of that on Friday. It didn't trigger, so I'm still in it, and I'm very, very bullish. I'll tell you why in a sec. Financials was actually up, so the banks are coming back. That's positive. Healthcare is up 2.2%. Industrials were up 3.36%. Materials are up 5.86%. Again, this materials trade is just insane. They're no fun to me, and it is a kind of a defensive sector. So I don't know what to make of that. I'm not an expert, so I don't trade it. Consumer staples also outperformed. So we had 6 sectors outperform the S&P 500. The laggards being consumer discretionary, utilities, real estate, and IT. So tech sold off, right? Energy did well. That's a strange correlation. Energy is up 8.89% finally. Okay, so I just highlight that again here. We're gonna put, this is right here where I'm looking. Again, if you want to follow around, you can just follow along. Just pop up another screen, follow along. Join the newsletter, and get the net, as they say in Wayne's World. ERX is a crusher this week ahead, and I mean, I think it's going to be a crusher, and it's better to be lucky than good, but it's also be good, and or good to be good. And it was basically a calculated risk that we took when we jumped into ERX 2 weeks ago, and it's paid off. And sometimes you just got to let your ponies run. Colonial Pipeline, as you guys know, if you've been following it at all, and if you don't, you heard it here first, is a pipeline and a grid power distribution company. I read somewhere that it's 45% of their the power grid on the East Coast is managed by this company, or at least somehow supplied by this company, or brokered by this company. So right now what's happening is that for the price of a good to go up or down depends on the scarcity of the product as well as the desirability. Well, everybody desires energy, and if it's scarce, it's because of hurricanes, tornadoes, greedy people. That happens. If you've seen the Enron doc, by the way, shout out to the Enron doc produced by Mark Cuban. Believe it or not, fun fact, and it's called The Smartest Guys in the Room. Check that out. You actually learn quite a bit about how energy is traded and how they commoditize that. So anyway, going back to what I was saying about Colonial Pipeline, so there was a cybersecurity hack. It's having reverberating impacts of the oil and gas space, and the price of oil should be going up quite a bit. Heating oil, natural gas, all of those things, it should be going up, and we're already in the money. And now we're just going to let our ponies win. We're going to let our shooters shoot. We're going to let it do what it do, baby. ERX, ERX, ERX. Let your horses run. I'm going to become ambidextrous here one of these days for doing this. LabU, same thing. So healthcare was up above what the S&P was. Information technology was below what the S&P was. IT 3 weeks ago was the highest. The week before that was the highest. The week before that was the highest. We're not worried about interest rates. Yellen is doing nothing but pumping juice into the economy. Well, Powell is pumping juice, and Yellen is administering the shots. So this is just a great thing. This is what a beautiful market looks like. It can be, I don't want to say boring, and it's easy to get lackadaisical, but remember, let the trade be easy. And that's what we have right now. SOS, same thing. With crypto currency prices, in my opinion, and institutional flows and inflows coming out of alts, going back in to the digital wallets, the trading platforms, I think a lot of people are going to go, all right, Doji was tight. I made some money. Doji, whatever. I made some money. Maybe I'm not going to really be as convicted in my Ripple now. Maybe I'm not going to be as convicted in my Litecoin. I'm going to put it back in either Ethereum and of course, Bitcoin. Trying to set a record for how many times I can say Bitcoin. SOS is my favorite trade or play on that, and it's because it is super risky. And with all that downside volatility also comes upside volatility. I think it's at least worth $7. I think it'll actually hit 12 at some point throughout the year. I don't know when. And that option that I published in last week's article and talked about, as well as on last week's video, is the one that I like. So same thing. So what I have typed here is I said ERX, ERX, ERX. Let your horses run. LabU, same thing. SOS option, same thing. Let it be easy. QS is the QuantumScape, Microsoft, Bill Gates. He's back in the limelight again. A lot of this Square kind of dumb money trades. These dumb money trades kind of come down to who the CEO is and how much they're pushing their products. It has nothing to do with his unfortunate divorce, or maybe in his case, fortunate divorce. But I like QS just from a technical perspective. It's beautiful. The chart is beautiful. I have some technical analysis coming up here in a minute for all you technical dweebs like me out there. So check this out, and I want to hammer this home. Yeah, I don't need a headline. I want to hammer this home. So, if you're a Vanguard or a broad-based index investment guy, you got to get with it. And here's why. Right now, this is the highest I've ever seen it. Information technology. So what I did is I put up the market weights as of at the end of last month. I stole this off the Fidelity website. Or copied this off the Fidelity website. You can go there too. Just click on news, then scroll down to markets and sectors, and then look at current weights of the U.S. stock market. So this is the S&P. This is what the total market, like the Vanguard total market, or I shouldn't say total, but the Vanguard S&P fund, VUSVX, or Fidelity S&P, or BlackRock S&P. This is what they're all going to hold by rule. Okay. Information technology is now 28% of the market. Just one sector, 28% of the market. Remember that sector underperformed this week. The healthcare sector is 12, almost 13% of the market. The consumer discretionary sector. So this is things like computers, travel. Actually, maybe not computers in this case, but luxury items, Michael Kors purses, watches, all those type of things. Doodads, knickknacks, nice stuff, luxury items, consumer discretionary. Think the stuff you don't have to buy, but that are nice to have. Financials next. So consumer discretionary is 12, financials are 11, consumer communication services are 10, energy is only 2. When I started in the business, energy was like 16, and that was back in 08. Hell of a time to start. But energy used to be 18% of the market. Now it's 2. During that time, I've watched it go from 18% of the market down to like 9% of the market, and then now down to 2. If you're a mean reversion type hypothesis type trader, like I talked about in my types of trades videos, that it seems to be very well liked. So give it a look if you want. If you believe in the reversion to the mean or buying the dip or all those type of things, uh, it's a great time to rebalance into energy. Even staples, even just what is below or what seems like it should be more of the market when you go outside and you look around. Real estate, 2%. I hate real estate, especially right now for personal reasons. I hate real estate. Transaction costs are too high. It's too hard to invest in. You gotta kind of feels like it's real mobbed up. You got to pay the title company. You got to pay the insurer. You got to pay for this. You got to fee for that. It's still only 2% of the market. I hate to say it, but you know, you got to trade where the trading's good, and I think real estate's probably a good space too. So take a look. If you don't know it, if you want to be a really good trader, if you don't know at any given time within, let's say, I'm going to be very nice here. Let's say 3%. Let's say 4%, 5%. If you don't know within 5% of what the market weight of a sector is, you probably ought to start learning, because it helps you understand the breadth, and the behavior of the subsectors of the market. So, you know, for a lot of these people out there, that I love Amazon, for example, and I like Apple, but I don't love Apple. Apple used to be what Amazon is now. Healthcare, you know, everybody thinks Pfizer, Moderna, that type of stuff. There's all kinds of other companies in that space. Like, do we think that the technology space is worth twice of what the healthcare space is? Maybe. Do we think that the industrial space is less than what the consumer discretionary space? So we really have like less manufacturing, less industrials, less, you know, everything from coal mines to machinery to auto manufacturers to you know, timber companies and all of the you know, this type of stuff. Why is that really worth 8? I don't know, but I can promise you that energy is not only worth 2. Being a little indignant here, just learn this stuff. This is how you become a gooder trader. Hey, I'm from Texas. Give me a break. This is how you become a better trader, is to learn that. All right, here we go. The Sherpa. Bitcoin turnaround is in full force, told you. GBTC, that's the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. Until Fidelity's ETF tells us what they're going to have in it, that's the best way to get traction on Bitcoin without actually having to buy it yourself. BlackRock's versions of the iShares are the best way to get silver, gold. If you want to do it, I don't want to do it, but if you wanted to buy pork belly, if you wanted to buy the price of you know, a barrel of natural gas, or a cubic trillionth of natural gas, however they do it, or if you want to buy, you know, a barrel of oil, a spot price it. That's how you do it. You don't have to go out and buy it. It's impossible, actually. You don't have to use levered, super crazy stuff to derivatives to get it. So just think about buying the ETF. That's how you track it. That's how you trade it. You can trade it throughout the day. You don't have to buy a mutual fund. You can use the ETFs. They're better. Doji crashes. Robinhood's shady business practices are going to show. Bitcoin gets more and more validation. GBTC, baby. Earnings calendar. This earnings calendar is so weak that I even had to put up a meme here, and I memed it. Move along, nothing to see here. That's a throwback to how great the TV show South Park is, and I think it's kind of a funny joke. So there's nothing to see here at all. The only thing I'm looking at is literally the first thing to report on Monday, and it's Workhorse. And the reason is I want to see what happens. I think there's going to be like triple traction on EV. I'm the electric vehicle guy. I love EVs so much that I make shirts to promote EV. I believe in the cause, and I just think it's cool. I think it's really going to be, this is like our version of the first automotive car. So even like Elon said last night, it's like he is reinventing the electric vehicles. And I know that's arguable, but whatever. So Workhorse, they had a lot of egg on their face. They could have been deceptive in their business practices, all that type of stuff. They did not win the bid for the USPS, and Oshkosh did, which I thought was kind of predictable in hindsight, but looking back, it was all Workhorse all the time, right? And even people who don't trade were asking me about Workhorse. So that's still got some fans. And I'm interested to see how they bounce back with this. So we know they're going to lose money. We know that their earnings aren't great. The market knows that. The analysts know that. So I want to see how the earnings look. I want to see how the report looks. But more so, I don't really care about the company. They also, by the way, they do have a 10% stake in my favorite company, which is Lordstown Motors, Ride, R-I-D-E, symbol R-I-D-E. Shout out Ride with Lordstown. So they do own a 10% stake in that, but I want to see how the market reacts. I mean, this is almost like they're so beat up that, you know, if they just go out there and throw a couple punches and then get knocked out in the first you know, round of the fight, you're like, all right, well, you know, it's still there at least. So I want to check that out. Enough on that. We're going to move on. The only thing I care about is seeing how much money Workhorse loses and how the EV community reacts. The best, okay, here we are. All right, come on, Bulls, get with me. Best Buy for the week, Best Buy of the week for LTH, long-term holds. This is a two-parter. So in my last video, when I talked about the 11 type of trades there are, I didn't talk about what I meant to because I got a little bit lost in these videos. You probably picked up on it. If you have a swing trade, but you like it as a day trade, and you also like it as a long-term hold, it's, to me, that builds some like personal emotional equity into it. So if the swing trade doesn't work out, or if the day trade does, maybe I clip it, maybe I go back and swing trade it, and if it moves against me, maybe I learn long-term hold and then manage around it and hedge it. That's 4 different types of trades that you can have, right? So the more that you can do that, if you can get 5 different types of trades on it, or cyclical, 6 different types of trades on the same individual security and the same idea and the same thought in the same space, then you could really, I won't say lever it. You can lever it in the future, but really you can just, from an emotional perspective, take that off your chest and then grow more convicted in your trade and ultimately make more money. So EV, there's a company called ARVL. They used to trade under the stock ticker CIIG, and they used to have a lot more Chinese publicity. I know that they do have a lot of ties to China, just like every single stock does in the EV space, including Tesla. But these guys have really cool innovation. They have these awesome short trucks, long buses. They also just signed a deal with Uber, and we don't know what they're gonna. They also have just regular cars. So check out their website. I do believe it's actually they did get the Joe. I just went there, but it's ARVL.com, and they're really spacey. They're kind of a mix between what Tesla does with just outlandish design, and then also utility, and then also like, we're not just a truck, we're not just a bus, we're going to do whatever we have to. And I think that's why Uber decided to get them. They're really big on autonomous driving as well. So I just think that that's the coolest thing. And when you look at this, we're going to go to Fido and we're going to look at the chart. So we're going to check this chart out. My session timed out on me. Is that the computer telling me to shut up? Maybe. All right, here we are. It popped 3% at the end of the week, but look at this chart. So this thing is so tradable. Yeah. We gotta, when any SPAC goes, not any SPAC, but almost any SPAC goes public, just remember it's going to go public at roughly $10. If it doesn't, go ahead and just Google the SEC docs. The first page that'll pop up will be what the offering price is. But so it opened at $10. It gapped up all the way to 36 in 4 days. Then it fell in 5 days in a row, and then it went back up to 39, and then it came back down. Now it's at 18. We're trying to either see if the pool goes really deep at the bottom or if we're close. So we don't know yet. But here we go. A long-term hold, gotta like it. A dip trade, definitely a dip trade. A day trade with this news with Uber coming out on Monday, almost for sure, right? And then we go swing trade. Well, yeah, I mean, so these are weeks that we're looking at here. No, those are months. Yeah, so those are months. So just cut these into quarters. And you're like, well, each week at most. To the downside, I have 5 weeks in a row, 6 weeks in a row. And now I'm getting that same pattern here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down, 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 down. And now it's all, to me, this is a spring loading back. So it's definitely a day trade as well. And then, so I like it. I like it as a long-term hold. I like it as all these type of trades. But I also like it for, this is the payoff. This is the reward for sticking to the end of the video. when you scroll down on the Ever Bullish newsletter, you always find the best option trade, in my opinion, of the week. And I normally circle it and point to it and all of that type of stuff, but for whatever reason, the editing tool wasn't working on my website. And look, I'm giving you everything here. Just watch it and go with me. These are the June 18th, 2020 calls, and I like the $17.50 for $1.60. I think that's a 30 to 40% easy option trade right there. And we also get quite a bit of time. And we get a month. But they're so cheap. And also the implied volatility is 73%, and the delta on those is just over 57%. Sounds good to me. It's right. Chase Ever Bullish. Check out the Ever Bullish One podcast. Become a bull with me. If you want, you could buy one of my downloadable portfolios. They are beating the market. They are fun. They are interactive. I rebalance them on YouTube. So not only are you learning how to trade, you're also and become a better investor by the end of this year. If you watch all my videos, you'll definitely become at least one order of magnitude better than your advisor who doesn't give a shit about you. Sounds good to me. You're also taking agency over your own investments. You can learn how to build a house on YouTube. You can learn how to do, what did I learn how to do on YouTube recently? I learned how to use Photoshop a little bit, and I'm hoping to improve the content of this website. So be like me, do what I did. Be your own daddy. Go out there, do your own investing, and learn from all the free information out there. Chase Ever Bullish, let's get rich. All AFG, all good. LFG, let's go. And check out the merch. Enjoy your Mother's Day. Let's get rich.